Alrighty, guys, so we're going to be going through now all of the neutral minions that have been confirmed to be in the next season 9. So, first on Tavern Tier 1, we still have Wrathweaver. This is only gonna be around in the demon lobbies, but um, he's kind of the only neutral on the lower Tavern Tier that you got to worry about. Really, it's only relevant because, potentially with something like Mercury or Murloc Holmes, you kind of need to know how many neutral minions there could possibly be if you need to pick between a couple. Next one is free travel winner is still going to be around. Honestly, I was kind of hoping they would get rid of it, but um, he's still going to be there as a potential payoff for getting an early victory. The only ways that I really like to do this is if I see another person tavern tearing up early, or if there's like a ghost in the lobby. Selfless Hero has been added back. This is going to actually be a very relevant card. Generally, with Selfless Hero, the late game like strats are built around getting a golden Selfless Hero and a Titus, and then getting a bunch of Divine Shields on your other like 5 good units. Normally, you'll have 4 good units and then just have like another filler tech spot. But what's kind of relevant for this is a like early game minion that you can pick up that will just be relevant throughout the entire game. Prophet of the Boar is still around. This is obviously only going to be around in the Quillboar lobbies, but this is a way for you to generate blood gems. Patient Scout's still around. This is another minion that, like, one, it's an econ card potentially on turn 3, or you can use it to try and get a key 6 drop early. Whelp Smuggler is going to still be around. This is still just like a dragon, like side synergy. It's only going to be around when dragons are in. Bird Buddies, kind of similar thing for Beast. It's still going to be around. Disguised Grave Robber is still going to be around with the Undeads. Deadly Spore is still going to be around. This is kind of an interesting one to keep. Having these like low tavern tier like relevant minions, I think is actually very helpful for the game. It makes it so like if you're just trying to stabilize on turn force, something like a Deadly Spore or the Selfless Hero are just good pickups that if you're going into someone that's been doing like 15 to the entire lobby to try and just survive around. So a couple of those like low level minions are just really helpful. Resourceful Soldier is a new one. Choose one, give a minion 5/2 or 2/5. Generally, the way I see this kind of being played out is if you have a Divine Shield, you'll probably do the 5/2. Pretty much any other minion, you're probably going to do the 2/5. Um, but it's going to be a good like choose one card. There's going to be a bunch of new synergies with these like choose one effects, and this is going to be like the first new one of these that we see. Assistant Guard's still around. This is kind of like the ooze from earlier, where it gives like your minions Divine Shield. Something like that's kind of common with this is just as a way to stabilize, you can give a bunch of minions taunt with the ooze, and then use this to give your entire board 2/3. But not too relevant of a card to still be around. Kind of similar thing. Inspiring Underdog. I think a lot of people they added last season thought that this was going to be like a super broken card, and really it turns out that this is like an okay stabilized, but it's not like game breaking by any means. Nomi is back. This is going to be around in elementals. If you haven't played with Nomi before, it's kind of like the trinkets you've seen. He's kind of a mean. After you play an elemental, elementals in the tavern have +1/+1 this game. The hard thing with this effect, and you've probably seen it kind of with like Azerites before, is like you don't really get the huge payoff unless you triple a minion. And this doesn't really help it. The one good thing is they did put this on Taverturn 4 where Nomi's generally been a 5 with the same effect. So you can potentially get this started a lot earlier. It might be like if you have a turn 5 triple, when you go to Tavern Tier 3, you can potentially get the Nomi on your triple and start scaling as early as turn 5. But that's really the only payoff I kind of see going on. Sindari is going to be around. I think they tried to get rid of Sindari once a couple like seasons ago, and just Sindari is such a important tech unit to be in the game to stop like Reborn and big taunts from just taking over the game. Tunnel Blaster's still around, kind of similar to Sindari. Like it's just a minion that it's going to be very hard to remove. There kind of needs to be some type of way to like ping the entire board to take off Divine Shields. Elise is still going to be around, kind of similar. I don't see them getting rid of Elise anytime soon. It's just a like kind of consistent way for you to discover sixes, especially in like elemental like reroll lobbies. Elise like was super popular a couple seasons ago when Tavern Tier 7 was a thing, and like that was kind of your way to like consistently discover tier 7 minions. So Again, don't really exactly see her leaving anytime soon. Brand's been consistently in the game. Don't see him leaving. Drakari, kind of same thing. It's going to be the tightest Drakari brand, like synergies. Fungus is still going to be around. I see them probably keeping this around for a while. It's just kind of a payoff for playing a lot of Tavern tier spells. We've played with him for a while. Kangors is kind of like that mech payoff as a neutral card. Don't really see any big changes going on there. Um, Whitemane was an interesting addition this season as like the anti-scam tech card, and you've kind of saw it a little bit when like Leapers were really popular that people would have to take Whitemane to target a Titus. Since they removed Leapers, I see Whitemane being played a lot less. So I don't really see this card having a ton of impact in the game. Leroy is still around. That's just kind of your like cleave protect. So what you can do is put it against like next to a divine shield and have it so when they are next to a taunt, and if they have like a cleave minion, it kills off the Leroy, and you can kind of like save yourself that way. But Leroy is just a good ending unit. Lightbang's still gonna be around. This is kind of one of the first new neutrals. Mutated Lasher, Death Rattle. For the rest of the combat, your odd tier minions have +2/+3. Um, it's kind of interesting as just like a way to stabilize. What's kind of interesting with this is like, let's say you triple on Tavern tier 4 with this and get this as a 5 drop. Like, you're not gonna have a lot of odd tier minions that you're gonna be buffing because normally like you're stabilizing on Tavern tier 4, right? So that's gonna be kind of hard. Also, I'm kind of thinking like with let's say dragons are a potential payoff for this where you can make the 2/3 permanent. Um, that like I don't know, like I just don't see this being that great of a like stabilized card, and there might be some type of Titus synergy. I guess like if you have this in Titus, like it's buffing the Titus, and that might be the start to some type of odd Death Rattle comp. Rodeo Performance still around, big payoff with Bran. Tolan Blue Shell still around, big payoff just if you find it to generate gold. And Titus is the last of that brand Drakari Titus, you know, duplicate effect. So now we're going to Tavern Tier 6. We get a couple of new ones here. Coast Guard, Battlecry, refresh the tavern with pirates, then steal one. Where I see a good payoff with this is with Bran, because you can get one reroll, steal a minion, then it's gonna like reset the shop again. So you get two pirates plus this. So it's like gold even plus you were able to like tech the shop for a bunch of pirates. So this might be a good card if there's some type of like Tethys like economy pirates going on. Nadina the Red. This was a minion from a while ago that they, I guess, are bringing back for dragons. So Death Rattle give 3 friendly dragons Divine Shield. The big payoff with this is, if like Poet is still in the game or Terragosa, then you're giving those minions the Divine Shield permanently, and this is just a faster way than like Amber Guardian, which is the current way that you give Divine Shield to your minions. So it might be that you can put off the Amber Guardian, or maybe when we look at dragons, like there's not as many Divine Shield ways, but this is going back as a way for your dragons to have that big payoff. Saloon Dancer. This is a taunt. Whenever you cast a tavern spell, give 2 other friendly minions +4/+4. Um, I don't know. This kind of reminds me of like Theo. Like I'm imagining you play this with like the Lubber and like a Nala and something like that. Where this is a little bit worse than Nala, though, is it's only 8/8 stats and it's 2 random minions. Where Nala you can kind of like guarantee get the stats on like a cleave or something like that. And you can imagine like the Saloon Dancer might just put a bunch of buffs on like a Leroy or like something that you don't really care about getting the buff. So that makes it a little bit worse than Nala. Um, and I think, oh no, a couple more. Silver-handed recruit, Battlecry, give your other even tier minions +4/+4. Kind of interesting. I wonder if there's gonna be like a potential Razor Gore comp with this, where like you can just give all your minions +4/+4 a bunch of times that way. Like you do Silverhand recruit, Razor Gore, Bran, Titus. I guess if you have Bran and Titus, like because it's only even tier, that makes it a little bit harder. But anyways, like this will be like a reasonable, just like kind of stabilize your board type card. So Team Master Theotar, he's been around for a couple of comps, and he's the last of our neutrals. So we've gone through the neutrals. Next video, we'll go through all the spells and see if there's been any changes around those that we should be kind of being relevant. I think the main takeaways from this season are going to be Selfless Hero being back is going to be a new like scam card that we kind of got to worry about, and then that new like ogre that does 4/4 on the tavern spells is kind of a replacement for Nala. And then other than that, most of the cards are kind of dependent on the different tribes. So we'll see how the different tribes look like and kind of put the neutral minions where it makes sense. Kind of the big thing is, a lot of these neutrals you're going to see in every game. There isn't that many new ones that are going to be like in every lobby. A lot of them seem tribe based, but outside of the new like ogre and redeemer. So, anyways, hopefully you enjoyed the content. Feel free to like, comment if there's anything you want clarification on. Drop a sub if you want to keep seeing these new guides as the new season comes out. See ya. Goodbye.